It's very expensive in Nigeria. But you go to the Arabian countries, it is not as expensive as that of Nigeria. So Nigeria over the years, hasn't made their oil reserve to reflect in the lives of the people. So vis-a-vis, I don't think Nigeria can also host the World Cup. We should be realistic. We shouldn't just be nationalistic just because we are Ghanaians, we are Africans, and so please, I don't think any country apart from South Africa.
Okay, thank you very much.
And the names I mentioned earlier can host the World Cup now.
Okay, but you can follow up with the latest news on Focus FM's news portal. It's focusfmknust.wordpress.com. focusfmknust.wordpress.com for the latest in respect of news in the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology and Ghana as a whole. But you can join us via text 1406. You type F, leave a space, and follow with your message. 1406, type F, leave a space, and follow with your message. Bismarck is also into international. It's actually an international issue correspondent. Bismarck, we're looking at an update on the Gulf of Mexico oil spill. According to I'm trying to read something here from Yahoo News, but in a short while I'll get back to you, Bismarck. But we are told that the cap has been fit onto the well, and the leakage has stopped somehow. Okay.
In the first place, I think this time around it looks like the US has adopted some sort of amicable diplomacy. Because I'm wondering if it was the tenure of George Bush, what he would have done. And over the years, looks like most of the Democrats president, you look at somebody like William Bill Clinton and Barack Obama, these are Democrats presidents. It looks like they resort to more diplomatic in terms of solving international issues. And if you look at the Republicans, George Bush 1, George Bush 2, George Bush and his father, or George Bush and his son. Those people, during their tenure, they went to war. And that should tell you something. That these are two powerful nations. Don't forget that the British Petroleum is an agency of UK. And UK, as you know, within the international context, are among the 5 permanent members of the United Nations. Okay. So obviously, in terms of strength, you may par the United States and America and UK on the same level. So I think that the American administration right now, I realize that this was just a mistake, and so they can be punished for that. But don't forget that the British Petroleum are saying that they are ready to pay close to $10 billion in essence of compensation to the relatives of those people who suffered that fate. So that should even tell you something that it was not intentional.
But could this have been prevented?
As to it being prevented, honestly, I think it will be difficult because these are some of the natural disasters. Even though we may say that we cannot say that God is the one who brought this, but under circumstances, no one could have done anything about it. So it was just bound to happen. So it has happened. So what is the next line of action? The next line of action is to resort to dialogue instead of instead of war. War will be more better than war. And I think that's exactly what the Obama administration is adopting. Because you look at members of the Obama administration right now. Some of them had the opportunity of serving under President Bill Clinton when he was the US president. You're talking about somebody like Thomas Patterson, Susan Rice, and these are kingpin of the Democrat Party in America. And they have been in the Democratic administration before. And so, why can't they tell Obama that when Bill Clinton was in office, when some of these things happened, this was the way that we used. So why can't you go there?
Okay.
So that's the more reason why I see Obama administration adopting more dialogue approach to issues rather than war, as the Republicans did during their tenure of office.
That's that from Bismarck. I was say champion the multi. Okay, now an update on that from Yahoo News here. The federal government Monday allowed BP to keep the cap shut tight on its ruptured Gulf of Mexico oil for another day, despite news the oil is leaking at the top and something is seeping from the sea floor nearby. The Obama administration's point man for the spill, retired Coast Guard Administrator or Admiral Fadalen, said early Monday that the company promised to watch closely for signs of new leaks around the Mile Deep well, which has stopped gushing oil into the water since the experimental cap was closed Thursday. Story Community Watch on Focus 943 is 15 minutes to 8 1406 to type F, leave a space and follow with your message. We're still trying hard to get into the quarters of the University of Ghana to find out exactly what warranted such a decision as an upward review of the grading system. But let me get back to George J. As George takes us through what he thinks will be the implication for the students of the university. George.
Well, Mata, I don't know actually what Legon administration have considered, in fact, to raise their scheme to 80% before a student could get A on Legon campus. But one thing I've realized is that when you push this grading system to 80%, what you are implying is that whether rain or shine, if a student wants to achieve that, by any means the person must get A. That means the person is going to chew everything. But what is happening is that if a student will chew, pass, and forget about whatever he learned. And I think that is not a good mark of academics. That if you want a student, or you want to upgrade your students, raise their capacity in academics, in education, that I think it's not only about the grading system that can make a student more brilliant. Right. Therefore, raising the scheme to 80%, I think, is a little bit very serious. In fact, even the 70%, people were not capable of making the 70%, and therefore, with the 80%, I think I'm pleading on the side of students that the administration should reconsider their decision. In fact, it is not easy. Making A with even the 70 marks have not been easy. Then raising it to 80 marks, I think this shouldn't be the standard. If they want students to pass and pass very well, I don't think raising the marking scheme to 80% will make students academically sound. But rather, they are inflicting some things on the student that they must chew, pour, and forget about whatever they've learned. It's as simple as that. That's what is happening in our various campuses. And therefore, pushing it to 80%, definitely that's what's going to happen on our campus. And I tell you, at the end of the day, when you go out, instead of you to implement what you've learned on campus, you go out there and virtually you knew nothing about what even you were taught in class or what you've learned some time past. So I think 80%, I think somehow is too harsh. I think they should reduce it seriously. Atta.
Okay, Bismarck, yeah.
Yeah, Atta. I don't know if, as you say, I work to differ from our vice president. But Atta, the issue is, if you go to the polytechnics, and I passed through the polytechnic system before I came here, and as you go to the polytechnic, I can tell you for a fact, you have to get 85 to 100% before you get A. And for that A, it's A plus. You come down to 80 to 84. You have A. Now the grading system of the polytechnic zone. From 75.
In which polytechnic specifically?
Oh, most polytechnics in Ghana here. Tapada Poly, C Poly, Kumasi Poly. I'm privy to Kumasi Poly because I passed through there before. Yeah, so I'm privy to Kumasi Poly. I can tell you, 75 to 80 is B plus. As you see, so it's from 70 to 75 is B. You look at the grading system. You compare it to that of the university. It looks like the university one is more on the downside. But I will agree with my vice president in the sense that it looks like in this country, our academics has always been chew and poor. And that has not been helping us over the years. Because I'm yet to see within the academia contest, when the nation has gone into a serious problem and the academics have come out, they say that this is the solution. let's be honest with ourselves. It has not been easy for the academia world at all. And we don't do more practical works. We are too bookish.